No, go ahead. So we'll start as we always do, say good morning to everyone. And normally we say if you have a new hire, stand up. I don't know what that's like. We've been together for a while, so we'll just maybe say good morning. So good morning, Vista. If Vista's there.
Where's Vista?
Maybe they're not on. I don't see them. This is LA. Good morning, LA, and LA in the back sales room. Good morning.
Hi. And Vista's having connection issues right now. They're trying, but they're having connection issues, just so you know.
Okay. Thank you. And good morning, Fresno.
Good morning.
Morning. And good morning, Sacramento.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Portland, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
I guess they can see us.
And Boise, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, good morning. And Reno, good morning.
Morning, Mr. Wilson. And our 3 new people are excited that they don't have to be put on the spot.
They lucked out. Good morning, Las Vegas.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Phoenix, good morning.
Good morning.
It's always fun to find them. Almost. Good morning, Salt Lake. Yay.
Good morning.
Can't forget your people. And Houston, good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And Raleigh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. I miss seeing everyone.
Huh? We see
Oh, Vista showed up. Hey, good morning, Vista. So we were talking a lot about this SAP project. We've had a lot of conversations since November. And it was funny, we were talking so much about what's involved in it. And I remember telling you, I was watching a children's show with my son. And on the show, there was this quote, and it really stood with me, and I read it to you. And the quote is, and it's a little kid talking to another little kid, and he says, in business, when times are tough, people turn against each other. In families, when times are tough, people turn towards each other. And I remember saying, and that's what we're all about. And we talked a lot about this SAP project, and there's so many people that have given so much. A lot of you have missed school events, planned vacations with your families, Christmas events. There are some that I know of, and I would love to name them, but then I'd probably miss some other ones. But we were talking about that, and just the sacrifice that everyone has given to move this thing forward.
I really feel this is a great opportunity for me to thank each one of you individually, because I know how hard all of you worked. It hasn't been an easy project. It's going to be a great project. We're all going to benefit by it. But we've done a great job in investing in it for all of us. And I love a company where we're all here together. And I can't thank you enough individually. I can call each one to see how much time that you thought about it, how much work you put in. It's amazing. If you look at each person here, everybody has just knocked themselves out. And from here, and these people coming in from our other units, giving up holidays and that. So I felt it was incumbent on me to say, I really appreciate it. I think we learn from this how great it is when you really work together. When people are a family, you just accomplish so much. And you people have done one tremendous job. We're going to finish it, and it's going to profit all of us. And so I felt that this was a great opportunity for me to say, thank you so much. I hope you realize that all of us appreciate what all the other people are doing. And I don't know I can't believe how much time and effort each one of you put in on this. So that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah. It was interesting. We talked so much about this, and you were talking so much about how everyone was selfless and giving of themselves. And then I started a lot of other conversations about your experience with people giving so much and being selfless, whether it was in your, during your military experience or just the different organizations that you're a part of where people give, and how those examples sort of start other things. I was telling you about the recent trash pickup where all the locations went out and were cleaning up their local areas, and how a lot of that has started from you sharing stories of giving and the importance of that.
Well, I really think that you can go just about to any area, but one of the things about being in the military, one of these things about combat is when you're in a group that's a platoon that's out there and being shot at, and you're trying to do things, everybody has to work together or you're a goner. And you learn very strongly how much you appreciate what people do for you. And you really realize that when they do something like that, or pull you out of problems, or wait for you when there are artillery fires coming in, stuff like that, it shows you people are just great. We don't appreciate the fact that so many people have to put out to help people. But when it's all said and done, the great satisfaction that you have when you've really helped somebody. And and I just feel that what we're doing here, in a sense, reflects some of the things that I've seen in my time. I know I've seen working in hospitals and stuff like that, people doing these things that spend their time, and an extra hour or 2 hours doesn't mean anything because it's more important to help somebody. And when you do it, all of a sudden you feel pretty damn good. And I think that's what we're talking about here. And that's why I'm so proud of this company. I mean, I'm involved in a lot of things. And I just think this company is a whiz, because we like each other, or we just don't stay here. And we get so many reports from everybody saying that. We get wonderful letters saying one of the reasons that Ernest is Ernest is because we just enjoy coming to work. It's something that it's not just a chore. It's something to help us. So, I know this, I'm not trying to be serious, but as a rule, I like to kid and joke, but this isn't a joke. This is just something I'm so pleased with that I just can't thank you enough.
So I learned a new story that I hadn't heard before from Mr. Wilson. And it was a great story, and it started with me complaining about my password. And so over the last 2 or 3 days, I've had password trouble, all my fault. I couldn't remember my password, and thankfully we have this great IT team, and they helped me out, and they fixed it. So I was speaking with Mr. Wilson. I was sharing with him about this frustration I had over my password. I couldn't remember it, and so he said, "Password? You want to hear a story about password and the importance of a password?" And you share.
Well, I was the lead scout intelligence reconnaissance platoon, and we would go out and in units and go behind the enemy lines. And coming back into your own line was probably the most dangerous thing that we had. A lot of casualties, because theoretically they would say password, and you'd give your password, and then you could come in. But a lot of these fellows or people, and they would say, "What's the password?" Bang, bang, bang. And so what you'd have to do is you'd yell the password, hit the ground, see? Because if you hit the ground, you would hit the ground because you got hit. So it was a tough time for passwords. And so that was the toughest part of our you could be out behind the enemy and be out there for maybe a day or two, and you come back crawling in, and boom, because you can't blame them. They don't want to get hurt. But on the other hand, it's funny from my perspective today, but it wasn't so funny then. We were scared less.
So you had to come back through the enemy line and then get to about, I think you said 25 feet or so?
Yeah, well, you get there and
This is crawling.
high, and you'd hit the ground, and you'd say, "Password," then they'd say, "Come on in." So passwords are important. So when you're using your little computer, just think, I don't get shot when I do this.
Everybody asked you if you ever forgot it.
Never forgot that. That was the quick and the dead. So that's one of the things.
And you would say, some people would stand up when they would say it, but you learn not to.
No, you don't stand up. You're on your face down. So that's one of those things. But of course, also when you're in a platoon and you're out there working with each other, you realize how important it is to have unity. So because you're each dependent on everybody, and if you don't have a cohesive group, you're not going to do well in combat. And
You were a small group. You said,
well, we were just, yeah, because we were, we were moving around to find out what was going on behind the lines and what the enemy were doing, and then we'd report that in. In fact, if they'd spot us, we'd have to get back because we were not good. We weren't there for trying to shoot them. We were there to find out what they were doing. And so you find out in that kind of a unit how much you depend on other people. And you just learn to appreciate them. You really do. And I kept up with my group, and every year I'd send them Christmas cards. Unfortunately, I'm the last one here. They're all gone now, so, but that's life, isn't it?
and speaking of keeping up, there's something recently that you kept up with.
What's that?
You recently got something brand new.
What's that?
You updated your license.
Oh, my driver's license. You did that to me. I got a new driver's license. So 5 years, how about that? And I got that new deal that you have to do all that stuff with and bring in your passport and your name. It's crazy.
And you only missed what?
I only missed 3 on the questions on it. If I miss one more, I'm out. But I did it. So you want to see a beautiful passport? Great picture of a very handsome guy. So unfortunately, I don't know who he is. He's so old.
That's it.
That's it.
Now you can drive around for 5 more years.
Well, sure, at least 5 years, So that's the way it is. I also got a new pacemaker, and that they said I don't have to get my new pacemaker for 12 years. So I'll be 107 when I have to change it. Is that good?
That's great.
So I'll aggravate you for a long time. Everybody. You're all going to be aggravated.
We'll see you all soon.
Yeah. So what else are you going to tell me?
That's it.
Well, that
I
is
just want to share your coffee cup story.
What's that? Huh?
The one where your partner gave that to you?
No, that's a different story.
Maybe next time.
Let's save it for another day. So the question is, does anybody have some questions? No questions, no this. We just thought that this was a good time for all of us to look at each other and thank each other. So I really would appreciate it if you really tell your friends and people here that you do appreciate the fact that they're all helping you in that. And I hope that each one of you, and I really appreciate the people throughout of town, the ones that came here and had to give up so much of their time. That was terrific. So thank you for all of you who've come in to work here. And I hope it wasn't too bad a deal, but we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
That's it.
That's it?
Thank you, and thank you.
Thank you.